Hello. Good morning, everybody. Um, so today we're going to be talking about the MVP card. We did have a couple changes that I didn't cover that happened. Moikov visa issues and Larkin knee injury is why, unfortunately, some two of these fights have been switched up, but they have not been canceled and they're still on the card. So I'm glad to see that. Chris Avila versus Brendan Jenkins. Chris Avila should be getting smacked up that fight. We look at the records, 8-9 versus 16-11. Absolutely crazy. Basically, when I went over AI with this card, they're telling me Nate Diaz was giving his Stockton buddy a bone to be on this card. Morning. Aline Pereira, Alex Pereira's sister versus Jade Mason Wong. She should win this. Morning. But 2-2 also isn't very good as well either. If she knocks out Jade Mason Wong like Alex Pereira, awesome, cool. That'd be dope. I'd love to see that more. But 2-2 is tough. So this one is a little bit of a toss-up. David McGowan versus Albert Morales. Probably go with Albert Morales, and I think this is some Armenian guy that Armin trains with and stuff like that. Morning. Moving on up, Jason Jackson, Jeff Creighton, welterweight U.S. Southeast, welterweight U.S. West. It's so weird. I mean, maybe they're talking about PFL and how they do that, but morning. And man, Adrian Maranos, they have him as number 47 bantamweight age. It's funny. Jason Jackson, Jeff Creighton. I think these are both PFL guys. Jason Jackson is pretty good. He has some actually really good wins on his record. Oh my gosh, tired of these stupid ass ads. Morning. The ass kicking machine. That's funny. Morning. PFL, Bellator, LFA. Morning. Lost on the Dana White's Contender Series. Wow, he lost by KO or TKO or something. Morning. Lost by split decision to Thad Gene Andre Krajowski. He beat Morning. Ray Cooper the third. He did beat Yaroslav Amosov, which is a big win, especially now that he's doing better in the welterweight division. Adriano Moraes versus Fumi Nikuda. I'm really sad we didn't get to see Muhammad Mokaev in this fight. This would have been a really great showing for Muhammad Mokaev. I think Adrian Moraes probably wins this one. Talking about a one champion who's fought DJ, fighting against Fumi Nikuda. And I know he is undefeated, but come on now. Moving on up, I don't know who these two are. Namo Fazil versus Jake Babian. Forget what exactly. Morning. What exactly AI said about these guys? He looks more like but it looks like he's more trying to be a model type shit than fucking Morning. Lost his first fight. Morning. U.S. West. See, this is why it can get confusing. Pathologies, like, they do sectors of the U.S. and they're like, this guy's the number 15 out of 1,289 people. It's like, I guess that's pretty good. Moving on up, Junior Dos Santos, Rebellis de Spain. Morning. This should be a Rebellis de Spain win because Junior Dos Santos, he's old. He's been chinned multiple times. Unfortunately, this is going to be an Unk slime out, and Junior Dos Santos is going to be at the other end of that slime out, unfortunately. Moving on up, Saladin Paranasi versus Kenneth Cross. He is touted as one of the biggest prospects outside of the UFC. In KSW, morning, filling out arenas and stuff like that. Just a lot of great morning. This guy is pretty good. Morning. 97 current best MMA lightweight fighter. Morning. Morning, morning, morning. He's only had like 2 losses, and they're kind of weird losses from what I've seen. But this guy is really good, and the UFC kind of missed out not getting this guy in Dana White's Contender Series. But I guess we'll see. This whole card is kind of going to be like a, let's see if there any sort of matchup against the, UFC and stuff like that. Francis Ngannou. Now, these are the ones. These are the ones that are really going to take some time, break them down a little bit. Francis Ngannou, Felipe Lins. Felipe Lins, unfortunately, I think we did fight in the UFC. I don't remember him fighting in the UFC. 4 wins, 2 losses. Not great. 3-3 in Bellator. 4-0 in PFL. Morning. Beat Ion Cutelaba. Oh my god, that's so long ago though. Morning. Holy shit, it's over 2 years ago. Morning. Immigration Open State Pro when he was still fighting. Jesus Christ. Morning. So he was a light heavyweight, and now he's coming up to heavyweight. Oh, you lose to Andrei Arlovsky, it's over, bro. I have to count you out. Andrei Arlovsky. Francis Ngannou would murder Andrei Arlovsky. Morning. And let's just compare this to Francis Ngannou. Morning. Number 30 greatest MMA fighter of all time. Wow, it's kind of crazy. Morning. 12 wins, 2 losses in the UFC, 1 loss, 0, or 1 win, 0 losses in the PFL. Morning. He also fought for a long time ago. His 2 losses are in boxing. Derek Lewis, Stipe Miocic. Morning. It's interesting. But yeah, Francis Ngannou has this in the bag, man. I think he's going to hurt Felipe Lins. Easy, fast, get him done and over with. Felipe Lins might have a little bit of like lighter man skill where he's trying to scamper around the cage, get away from Francis, but I think Francis is eventually just going to hit him and it'll be lights out for Felipe Lins. Or Francis will take him down and ground and pound him. Francis has takedowns, takedown defense. He's very well-rounded. And the biggest thing to worry about is how hard he could hit you with an uppercut, hook, and stuff like that too. So yeah, very scary. Very terrible to have to fight Francis Ngannou, honestly. But at least he might be getting a big bag for this. We'll see. He's at 850, huge underdog. Minus 1,500, huge favorite. But yeah, Francis Ngannou should have this in the bag and pretty easily, to be honest. Should be a slime out. Should be an easy slime out. Moving on up, Nate Diaz, Mike Perry. Morning. What is this? Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know we could do that. Awesome. I like this. Morning. Age at fight, 34 years, 8 months, 1 day. So, wow. I thought Mike Perry was a lot older, to be honest with you. He's only 34, and Nate Diaz is going to be 41, man. 40 freaking 1. Morning. That is crazy. Matchup page. Oh, this is cool. I like this Tapology. Ooh, Tapology. I might be freaking going to this page a lot more. Morning. A lot of people have Diaz by decision. Morning. Slight underdog, plus 160, moderate favorite. I think Mike Perry is gonna clean Nate Diaz's clock most likely. Honestly, Nate Diaz has just not looked good for his last couple fights. Morning. He's looked quite morning. So, I thought they said greatest fighter of all time, but what are they talking about? 16 wins, 11 losses in the UFC. Oof, kind of rough. 3-1 in WEC, 1-0 in SMMA, whatever the hell that is. Morning. Beat Jorge Masvidal all the way in 2024 in boxing. Lost to Jake Paul in boxing, whatever. Beat Tony Ferguson by guillotine choke in round 4. Crazy. He was supposed to fight Khamzat Chimaev. I guess that wouldn't have been terrible for him. Maybe he could have gassed out Khamzat and beat him. Lost to Leon Edwards. Lost to Jorge Masvidal. Anthony Pettis. He beat Morning in 2019. Cormier versus Miocic. Wow. And then he lost to Conor McGregor. Morning, Johnson, Rafael Santos, beat Gray Maynard. However, morning. Overall, pretty good record. Pretty okay. Not really. Trial 13 isn't terrible, but it's also not that good. 14-8 is also decent, but not that good either. Mike Perry. But I'm really glad that these two are getting a co-main spot on a big card like this. Typically, these guys probably if these guys were still in the UFC, they would probably be like, main card opener or something like that, or like featured prelim bout kind of thing. Especially Nate Diaz and Mike Perry would have gone pretty far down in the rankings in the UFC if they were still on it. Unfortunately for them. Let's go to our main event now. The big one, Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. Morning, Rowdy conviction. Morning, Gina conviction Carano. Morning. Heavy underdog for her. Morning. She's going to be 44 years old, man. 44 years old. She has height 5'8", 0.5-inch reach advantage for her. Gym not available. Morning. I mean, it's pretty well set. This is going to be a submission victory. Morning. I mean, I haven't seen nearly enough of Gina Carano's fights. Morning. XC, SMA, like. Morning. Sarah Diallo lost to Chris Cyborg in round 1 to punches. Morning. World Extreme Fight, Nevada Regional Strike for Sidley XC. Cut. Morning. Yeah, I guess lost to Strike Force and then never fought again. It's not fought a fight since 2009. We're talking about here from Gina Carano. Morning. Career disclosed earnings 150 USD. She must be pretty happy. This is going to make her a lot of money fighting Ronda. Morning. Ronda Rousey. Morning. Queen. Career disclosed earnings $4 million. I figured she'd make a lot more than that, to be honest. Morning. Look at that absolute cut face. Morning. 6 wins, 2 losses. Not terrible for the UFC, honestly. And then her last fight was 10 years ago to Amanda Nunes. Morning. But she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights as a champion, it seems like. I'm guessing that's what the morning. She's had a couple title defenses. Morning. Her losses in the Olympic Games. That's kind of crazy. Morning. Professional bouts. They don't count these. What? Morning. I was about to say. I can't believe they count her judo losses. That's kind of crazy. I guess it is technically combat, Yeah, I mean, just like kind of what I was talking about earlier. Ronda Rousey is going to get it done. Round 1. Or barf. Some sort of choke, something like that. It's going to be like Prime Ronda, where it's going to be like, maybe not Prime, but like, it's going to be like a flashback of Prime Ronda Rousey, Oh, she's got her, and she's cranking the arm, and it's over. Oh my God, Ronda Rousey, after 10 years, comes back and gets her win against Gina Carano. And you know what? That's my biggest problem with this card in general, is now what? Because, I mean, we go to the Instagram here. Morning. From MVP. Morning. And Ronda Rousey is saying is going off and saying some shit.
Falling in a bar, and two red carpet walking anomalies that have trained their entire lives fighting on the biggest stage on earth. Like, what do you want me to do? Call her cunt and pull her hair? It's just going to cheapen the whole thing to me.
Do you want to hurt her though?
I mean, when it's sanctioned.
Warning. What's she
in their entire lives fighting on the biggest stage on earth? Like, what do you want me to do? Call her cunt and pull her hair?
That'd be nice. I'd kind of like that. Warning.
Change the landscape of the entire sport forever, and it's going to be the best fight of me and Gina's lives. And I can't speak for the other guys on the card, but this is the most stacked card I've ever seen, and this is the most I've seen anyone invest in one card.
I guess it's supposed to be all right. Let's go ahead. You think this is going to be better than the White House card? You really do. You really do. Warning. It's missing Hokit and Blades now. Warning. You have it right there. Ilya Superior, Justin Gaethje, Alex Pereira, and then Josh Hokit versus Derek Lewis is in there too. But banger, absolute banger, Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. Absolute banger, Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dawkins. Absolute banger, Mauricio Ruffy versus Michael Chandler. Absolute banger, Sean O'Malley versus Eamon Zahabi, although I wish it was Corey Sandhagen instead of Eamon Zahabi. Absolute generational banger, Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane, coming up to possibly get 3 belts, which would be the biggest, craziest accomplishment in the UFC. Ilya Pereira versus Justin Gaethje, another amazing banger to end the night. When I'm looking at the MVP card, I don't know about this one. Warning. Maybe. I'm sorry, maybe I just don't know these guys really well, so it's like hard for me to like give an exact because it's gonna be big. This is gonna be big. We know as UFC fans, those fights that were on the White House card, those are all bangers, absolute bangers. Warning. Rebels to Spain versus Junior Dos Santos. It's gonna be. I think it'll be one-sided, honestly. This might be a banger. I'm excited to see Saladin Paranasi, who is a big prospect outside of the UFC. It's minus 1,400 favorite. So, I hope it's not just a one-sided ass whooping. Same thing with Francis Ngannou versus Felipe Lins. If it was like Francis Ngannou versus, Costa Cortez, or Francis versus Volkov, or Francis versus Gable Stevenson, or Francis versus any one of those high-ranked UFC guys. I know Gable Stevenson's high-ranked, but could you imagine a Gable Stevenson versus Francis Ngannou match in the UFC? Ooh, that'd be awesome. That'd be really cool. But anyways, warning. It's gonna be this is gonna be pretty one-sided. This might be a little bit less one-sided, but I think Mike Perry's gonna beat down Nate Diaz in a first and second round, and they'll probably end up stopping the fight due to cuts or something like that. Or I think he'll TKO Nate Diaz too. To be honest with you, and Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. I am sorry, but that is gonna be. It's gonna be a little bit of all this build. And here's the thing too: is Ronda Rousey's using that anger and hatred she typically reserves for her opponents towards the UFC and stuff like that, and it just comes across the fans as quite bitter. And the fact that you're doing this out of spite and hatred, and not because you actually really want to have a meaningful MMA match and get yourself back out there. Because we know Ronda Rousey should. After this, I'm done. I'm gonna help out MVP and stuff. What else did she?
I would have killed to see Mike Tyson live. And I would have killed to see Muhammad Ali live. I would have killed to see UFC 1 live. And I believe that this event is historic on that level. And it's going to change the landscape of the entire sport forever. And it's going to be the best fight of me and Gina's lives. And I can't speak for the other guys on the card, but this is the most stacked card I've ever seen. And
watch that one. But man, it is stacked for not being a UFC card, but Warning. It is a little bit, you're really going to have to depend on these lower guys here. You're really going to have to depend on them to put on a good show, because if the prelims suck ass, it's not going to be looking too good for the main card, honestly. Because typically UFC prelims, like, you get a banger or two in there. We got a couple bangers and possible bangers in here. I'm not saying, that these couldn't be bangers. I just, unfortunately, have not seen enough of these guys to determine that outcome. So for me, from my perspective on this, is like, I'm a little bit iffy on this. I don't know these guys, Fortunately, UFC is a great test to see if you are a banger fighter or not. Because a lot of these fights, are just not seen or no one's ever heard of, Warning. Never heard of Kenneth Cross. The fuck is that? Warning. I don't really even care that much, but let me look. Warning. Be tough enough. Warning. So he's a failed Dana White Contender Series alumni. All of these guys are failed UFC alumni, honestly. For when I was looking at it, a lot of Dana White Contender Series fights where they either won boringly or they lost. But yeah, overall, it should be a pretty decent card. I'm very excited. Warning. Also, still going to break down the UFC card that's coming up this weekend as well, too. Both things are going to be going on at the same time. I might do a little bit of a split screen kind of thing where I am getting a TV very soon. I'm going to place it like right above me, like right over there. And then once I do that, I can put on the Netflix card like above me and then the UFC card on this one and watch both of them and stuff, because I'm not going to miss my boy Arnold Allen this weekend. All right. I'm not going to miss him. Warning. I do want to catch that fight. But anyways, just overall with this card, unfortunately, there's just no like belt on the line. There's no rankings or anything like that. There's no real like future of like, hey, after this fight, we're going to get this next fight. There's no further goal to go on to it next. Like, Francis beats Felipe Lins. Awesome. Cool. Does he get a belt? What does he get for that? He gets a good payday. Awesome. Cool. But at the end of the day, too, is he working towards anything? Is this exhibition? Like, what are we doing here, kind of? Nate Diaz, Mike Perry, that's going to be one of those ones where it's just like, two lunks going against each other. And Rousey versus Carano, again, very spectacle kind of fight. Featherweight at 145. Warning. Yeah, it should be interesting. I'll definitely be watching. Should be a fun card. But at the end of the day, there's just, to try to compare this to the UFC White House card, there's just no comparison. I'm sorry. There is no comparison. Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano is not bigger than Justin Gaethje, Ilia Topuria. And I think a lot of fans will say that. And maybe back then, Ronda Rousey for sure be a bigger name than them. But Ilia Topuria now, he's way too big of a superstar. Richard Milley, I mean, come on, man. This guy's a smooth criminal. Fucking Ilia Topuria. Big name Ilia Topuria. So Ronda Rousey better fucking shut up about talking shit about the UFC and their fighters there. But yeah, anyways, that is the video. And I hope you guys enjoyed and have a great day.
Right.